पाहि गजानना पार्वती तनया गजानना पाहि पाहि गजानना पार्वती तनया गजानना पार्वती तनया गजानना एकदन्ता गजानना एकदन्ता गजानना अनेकदन्ता विज्ञानना अनेकदन्ता विज्ञानना गजानना 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 पाहि पाहि गजानना पार्वती तनया गजानना पार्वती तनया गजानना लंबोदर हे गजानना लंबोदर हे गजानना लंबोदर हर गजानना लंबोदर हर गजानना 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 पाहि पाहि गजानना पार्वती तनया गजानना पार्वती तनया गजानना सच्चिदानन्द गजानना सच्चिदानन्द गजानना चिन्मय रूप गजानना चिन्मय रूप गजानना शुभानना 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 पाहि पाहि गजानना पार्वती तनया गजानना पाहि पाहि गजानना पार्वती तनया गजानना पार्वती तनया गजानना सच्चिदानन्द गजानना सच्चिदानन्द गजानना चिन्मय रूप गजानना चिन्मय रूप गजानना शुभानना 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 पाहि पाहि गजानना पार्वती तनया गजानना पाहि पाहि गजानना पार्वती तनया गजानना पार्वती तनया गजानना पार्वती तनया गजानना पार्वती तनया गजानना ओम श्री राम कृष्ण भगवान की जय। ओम माता गाते हैं नाम तुम्हारा ओ माता गाते बोलते हैं अम्बे माता, कोई बोलते हैं दुर्गा माता, कोई बोलते हैं तू है सारा जग के जननी, गाते हैं नाम तुम्हारा माता, गाते हैं नाम तुम्हारा ओ माता, गाते हैं नाम तुम्हारा। लक्ष्मी माता कोई बोलते हैं, सरस्वती माता कोई बोलते हैं, लक्ष्मी माता कोई बोलते हैं, सरस्वती माता कोई बोलते हैं तू है सारा जग के जननी, गाते हैं नाम तुम्हारा माता, गाते हैं नाम तुम्हारा ओ माता, गाते हैं नाम तुम्हारा। हम सब हैं माँ बालक तेरे, तू है मैया माता मेरी। हम सब हैं माँ बालक तेरे, तू है मैया माता मेरी। तू है सारा जग के जननी, गाते हैं नाम तुम्हारा माता, गाते हैं नाम तुम्हारा ओ माता, गाते हैं नाम तुम्हारा ओ माता, गाते हैं नाम तुम्हारा ओ माता, गाते हैं नाम तुम्हारा। ओम श्री राम कृष्ण भगवान की जय। जीवन प्रभाते पर मेरा साथे, बोलो जय राम कृष्ण रे। जीवन प्रभाते पर मेरा साथे, बोलो जय राम कृष्ण रे। बोलो राम कृष्ण जपो राम कृष्ण, बोलो राम कृष्ण जपो राम कृष्ण। भज मन राम कृष्ण रे, भज मन राम कृष्ण रे। जीवन प्रभाते मर मेरा साथे, बोलो जय राम कृष्ण रे। जीवन प्रभाते मर मेरा साथे, बोलो जय राम कृष्ण रे। राम कृष्ण नाम बोले मन वीराम, राम कृष्णानाम बोले मन वीराम, शीतल होवे सब ज्वाल रे, शीतल होवे सब ज्वाल रे। जीवन प्रभाते मर मेरा साथे, बोलो जय राम कृष्ण रे। जीवन प्रभाते मर मेरा साथे, बोलो जय राम कृष्ण रे। राम कृष्ण जय बोले मनिराशय, राम कृष्ण जय बोले मनिराशय, शांत होवे मन प्राण रे, शांत होवे मन प्राण रे। जीवन प्रभाते मर मेरा साथे, बोलो जय राम कृष्ण रे। जीवन प्रभाते मर मेरा साथे, बोलो जय राम कृष्ण रे। बोलो राम कृष्ण जपो राम कृष्ण, बोलो राम कृष्ण जपो राम कृष्ण, भज मन राम कृष्ण रे, भज मन राम कृष्ण रे। जीवन प्रभाते मर मेरा साथे, बोलो जय राम कृष्ण रे। जीवन प्रभाते मर मेरा साथे, बोलो जय राम कृष्ण रे, बोलो जय राम कृष्ण रे, बोलो जय राम कृष्ण रे, बोलो जय राम कृष्ण रे। ओम श्री राम कृष्ण भगवान की जय। बोलो बोलो सब मिल बोलो ओम नमः शिवाय, बोलो बोलो सब मिल बोलो ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय। बोलो बोलो सब मिल बोलो ओम नमः शिवाय, बोलो बोलो सब मिल बोलो ओम नमः शिवाय। झूठ जटा में गंगाधारी, झूठ जटा में गंगाधारी, त्रिशूलधारी डमरू बजा, त्रिशूलधारी डमरू बजा, डम 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 डमरू बजा, डम 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 डमरू बजा। गूंज गाओ नमः शिवाय, गूंज गाओ नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय। बोलो ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय। हर ओम नमः शिवाय, हर ओम नमः शिवाय, हर ओम नमः शिवाय, हर ओम नमः शिवाय। Shivaya. Bolo bolo sab mile bolo Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Bolo bolo sab mile bolo Om Namah Shivaya. Bolo bolo sab mile bolo Om Namah Shivaya. Jyot jata mein Ganga dhari, Jyot jata mein Ganga dhari, Trishul dhari Damaru baja, Trishul dhari Damaru baja, Dam 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 Damaru baja, Dam 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 Damaru baja. Gunjara Om Namah Shivaya, Gunjara Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Bolo Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Hara Om Namah Shivaya, Hara Om Namah Shivaya, Hara Om Namah Shivaya, Hara Om Namah Shivaya. Bolo bolo sab mil bolo Om Namah Shivaya. Bolo bolo sab mil bolo Om Namah Shivaya. Om Shri Ram Krishna Bhagavan ki jai.
Om Aim Sarvadeva Devi Swarupaya Shri Ramakrishnaya Namaha. Dear sisters, brothers and loving children, Om Namo Narayanaya. From the beginning of this year and in the recent past, many people have been facing severe challenges. There seems to be bleakness all around. Whom do we turn to during these times of crises? In God alone can we find hope and comfort, since God alone is eternal, all-knowing, and almighty. God alone can guide us and show us the way forward if we have faith in Him. Today we will read from A Guide to Spiritual Life, Spiritual Teachings of Swami Brahmananda. This reading has been selected from chapters 15, 16, 22 and 23. The place is Belur Math and the year 1916. The direct disciples of the Master, revered Swamis Brahmanandaji, Premanandaji and Sharadanandaji Maharaj were present at the Belur monastery. All the monks that were at Belur Math gathered for a meeting in Swami Brahmananda's quarters. A monk asked Swami Brahmananda, Maharaj, the young monks do not like to get involved in relief work. How can we continue our mission program? Why don't you want to take part in relief work? Asked Revered Maharaj. They replied that there was no opportunity and time left for spiritual practices if they got busy most of the day with relief operations. Maharaj exclaimed, You are all monks and brahmacharins. There is a power of brahmacharya within you. This means one who has control over the mind and senses attains this power. You will have to combine in your life both contemplation and action. I agree that in the beginning, relief work is hard labor, but it does not continue for very long. So why don't you practice your spiritual disciplines? At first, we also worked hard for Sri Ramakrishna's order. Though I was a monk, I had to run to the offices of lawyers and legal advisors. I don't feel that it did us any harm. We know that all duties are for the Master. Hearing Swami Brahmananda's words, everyone remained silent. Swami Sharadananda then asked the monks to express their difficulties and problems. Since no one spoke, Revered Maharaj asked a monk, "Do you have any complaint?" The monk answered, "Previously, I was not getting any chance to study the scriptures in the monastery. But now that I have put my mind in meditation, I don't have any difficulty." Another monk complained, "There is no good arrangement for scripture classes in the monastery. It would be nice if we could have a Sanskrit scholar." Maharaj replied, "Why? You are studying under Swami Atmananda. He is a Sanskrit scholar and a good monk." We learn from this short paragraph that if we want to complain about everything, then we cannot make any progress. But if we make the best of any situation and try our best to do something about it, then we can go forward. Sometimes it can happen that we get tired because of much work, but this does not mean that we must forego our japa and meditation. It will be of a great advantage to us if, before going to bed at least, we can repeat God's name. Revered Maharaj got up from his chair and continued, "I vividly remember what Swamiji said, that is, Swami Vivekananda said to Turyanandaji and me at Mount Abu before he left for America. He said, 'Whatever you do for the good of the world and for the welfare of all, that is dharma, that is religion. And whatever you do for yourself, that is adharma, irreligion.'" Oh, what a great message! These are all priceless words. Can anybody appreciate such words unless they practice it? I hear that some of you are saying the activities of the mission are obstacles to meditation, that relief work does not help spiritual progress, and moreover, that Swami Premananda and I do not care for those activities. Those notions of yours are completely wrong. You do not understand us. You must follow the ideal. I say again and again, most emphatically, that whatever relief work you do, you must also continue your japam and meditation in the morning and evening and after your work. Often we used to hear from Swamiji, "Work and worship." This means do your work and practice your meditation. Of course, if it happens that due to the pressure of work you cannot practice your disciplines for a day or two, that is a different matter. Can anybody practice japam and meditation for 24 hours a day? Therefore, you will have to perform unselfish action, nishkama karma. If you do not do that, various bad thoughts and frivolous ideas will linger in your mind. So, selfless action is better than inaction. The Bhagavad Gita and other scriptures stress on this idea, and I also speak from my own experience. Thus, we see that even the monks and nuns do not pray and meditate for all 24 hours of the day. Everyone has to do some work or the other. The attitude with which we do our work helps us to progress in life. so that we feel joy and contentment, or it binds us down and we feel miserable and unfulfilled. We must remember that whatever work we do at home, in the office, or with our studies, do it selflessly as an offering to God. Secondly, no matter how busy we are with work, we should not neglect our sadhana. We should not miss performing our japa and meditation, which are our anchor in life. Revered Maharaj continues, "What a great sacrifice is this! You have renounced your hearth and home for a greater ideal, which is God realization, and to do good to humanity. You have dedicated yourselves to the Master, and still you say that you dislike karma yoga, which is a path of selfless work." Swamiji used to say, "If you think one life has gone in vain for doing good to others, let it go. How many lives you have spent idly? Why are you afraid of losing one life for doing good to humanity? There is no need to be afraid. The scriptures say that selfless action leads to God realization. The Bhagavad Gita also says, verily, by action alone did King Janaka, a knower of Brahman, attain perfection. A man who does his work without attachment attains the highest." Swamiji once said, "The boys who are coming now will not be able to practice japa and meditation day and night. So I have started these philanthropic activities. It really would be wonderful if somebody could pass the day and night in meditation, prayer, and study. But in fact, they cannot do that, so they resort to idleness. Good work cannot go in vain without bearing a good result, and that result will clear the path for your liberation. I have observed that those monks who have returned from Rishikesh after practicing austerities exclusively for 3 or 4 years are less advanced than those monks who are living in one ashrama and doing both meditation and karma yoga. Know for certain that those who neglect their work are deceiving themselves." Revered Maharaj advised one day, one should follow a routine in one's spiritual practices. Steadfast devotion is extremely important. Without it, no one can be successful in any work. You must have steadfastness that wherever you are placed, you feel compelled to observe your routine. Make a routine of everything. I shall meditate for so long, repeat my mantram so many times, study for so much time, and sleep for so many hours. With an irregular life, you cannot be successful in any work. A regulated life is the only means of physical and mental development. When a watch starts losing time, one sets it right again. Then it gives the correct time. It is the same with our minds. For various reasons, the mind becomes unsettled, but one can regulate it by keeping holy company. Once Maharaj said to a young man, "Some people have the desire to do philanthropic work, but I think one cannot do good to others unless one's own character is good and strong. Those who have taken refuge in God and have received His grace never make any mistakes. Their actions, speech, and behavior bring good to the whole world. Children love to hold onto a pole while spinning fast around it. Do you know where their attention is at that time? It is on the pole. They know very well that if they loosen their grip, they will fall and be injured. But there is no fear of falling as long as they hold tightly to the pole. Then they can go on spinning around it as long as they like. Similarly, you will have to know God first and hold on to Him firmly. God is your anchor. After holding to God, whatever you do will be right, and you will neither fall nor take a false step. Then it will not matter whether you follow the path of knowledge or devotion or action, that is, Jnana Yoga or Bhakti Yoga or Karma Yoga. Blessed will be your life on earth, for you will do good to humanity. Try to know God and strengthen your faith and devotion. Then do whatever you want to do. Knowing Him, if you perform actions, you will not only find peace in yourself, but will also be able to share it with others. Revered Maharaj has taught us many valuable lessons. May Sri Ramakrishna bless us so that we can do good work and meditate well. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
शरण में आए हम तुम्हारे, दया करो है दयालु भगवान। शरण में आए हम तुम्हारे, दया करो है दयालु भगवान। संभाल बिगड़ी दशा हमारी, दया करो है दयालु भगवन, न होगी जब तक दया की दृष्टि, न होगी तब तक कृपा की दृष्टि, न होगी जब तक दया की दृष्टि, न होगी तब तक कृपा की दृष्टि, न होगी तब तक तुम न्यासकारी, दया करो है दयालु भगवन, शरण में आए हैं हम तुम्हारे, दया करो है दयालु भगवन, संभाल भीतरी दशा हमारी, दया करो है दयालु भगवन, दया करो है दयालु भगवन, दया करो है दयालु भगवन। ओम श्री राम कृष्ण भगवान की जय।
Om Namo Narayanaya, dear sisters and brothers. Let us sit peacefully and meditate on the divine form of God seated in our hearts. The Bhagavad Gita guides us in the art of meditation. Lord Krishna says in chapter 6, verses 26 and 27, by whatever cause the wavering and unsteady mind wanders away, control the mind and bring it again and again to the Supreme Lord. Supreme bliss verily comes to that yogi whose mind is perfectly calm, whose passions are quieted, who has become one with Brahman and who is free from taint. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
ॐ सर्वेषां स्वस्तिर्भवतु, सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु, सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु, सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु, सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते, पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरि ओम तत्सत्।
जय श्री गुरु महाराज की
जय।
महामाई की
जय।
स्वामी जी महाराज की
जय।
गंगा मात की
जय।
महावीर स्वामी जी की
जय।
सर्व ऋषि मुनीन की
जय। पार्वती पतये हर हर महादेव की जय। ओम नमो नारायणाय।
Shamedam Devim Ramakrishnam Jagatgurum Padapadme Tayoshritva Pranamami Muhurmuhu. Dear sisters, brothers, and loving children, Om Namo Narayanaya. We welcome you to this morning's Hinduism class as we continue our discussion on the life of the Holy Mother, Sri Sarada Devi. Sri Sarada Devi's life inspires us. It awakens love for God in our hearts. We feel that we too must practice japa and meditation to reach the goal called God realization. In 1885, when Sri Sarada Devi was only 31 years old, Sri Ramakrishna developed cancer of the throat. In order to treat the master, he was taken to Shampukur and later to Kasipo. This was an extremely tough period for all who were close to the master. While serving the master, the young disciples grew closer to each other and began to look upon Sri Sarada Devi as their own mother. Despite their loving service and prayers, the master grew weak. On 16 August 1886, Sri Ramakrishna attained Mahasamadhi. The disciples and Holy Mother were grief-stricken. This period reminds us that everyone experiences suffering in life. However, there is often a benefit in going through these tough times. In this case, the bonds that were created between the young disciples and the Holy Mother during this challenging period played an important part in the formation of the future Ramakrishna order. On the following day, the Holy Mother was preparing to wear the widow's garments. She was removing her bracelets and other jewelry when Sri Ramakrishna appeared before her and said, "What are you doing? Where have I gone? I have only passed from one room to another." The master meant that only the body has passed away. The divine spirit or Atman does not die. Thereafter, the mother was consoled and gave up the idea of wearing the widow's garment, although this was against the social norms. She shook off all fear of public criticism, and from then on, she wore simple bracelets and a narrow bordered sari. Following Mother's example, we too should do what is practical instead of blindly following society's norms. Shortly after Master's passing, Holy Mother, accompanied by a group of devotees, went on a pilgrimage to North India in order to ease her grief. She stayed in Vrindavan for about a year, where she was constantly absorbed in japa and meditation. Sometimes she would be in such deep states of samadhi that her companions had to help to bring her mind down to the normal plane. We learned from Mother that we must turn to God for peace and comfort in times of difficulty. At the temple of Radha Rani in Vrindavan, the Holy Mother fervently prayed that she must not see faults in others. Her life was proof that this prayer was answered. Just as a mother cannot see any fault in her child, she was incapable of seeing any blemish in anyone. Mother advises us not to see defects in others, as our own eyes become impure and we absorb the defects of others. When Sri Sarada Devi moved to Kamarpukur, she faced great hardship. She had no financial resources and nobody to live with her. The Master's disciples did not know of the Holy Mother's dire situation, and she herself would not speak of her personal hardships to anyone. Faith in God was her only refuge and support. When the devotees in Calcutta eventually heard of this, they were alarmed and concerned. They requested the Holy Mother to come to Calcutta. She ultimately agreed to this request, to the relief and joy of the devotees. Sri Sarada Devi says, You see, my child, difficulties always come, but they do not last forever. You will see that they pass away like water under a bridge. Another significant event occurred when Holy Mother went on pilgrimage to Gaya. At Bodh Gaya, the place where Lord Buddha attained enlightenment, there was a beautiful Hindu monastery with perfect living arrangements for the monks. Seeing this, the Holy Mother prayed to the Master that her children, the monastic disciples, might find a permanent place of shelter instead of wandering from place to place. She used to say that through the grace of the Master, the monastery at Balur was established soon after. While in Kolkata, the Holy Mother was the center of spiritual attraction. Her spiritual influence spread far and wide. People from all quarters would come to her for solace, guidance, spiritual instruction, and initiation. Initiation is when a spiritual teacher gives a mantra and guides the disciple on the spiritual path. Sri Ramakrishna knew that the Holy Mother would continue to do his work, so he gave her special training. While Sri Ramakrishna would be very particular in choosing a disciple, the Holy Mother could not refuse anyone due to her motherly heart. Swami Premananda, a disciple of the Master, once remarked, "The poison that we cannot assimilate, we send to the Mother." He meant that the people whom they could not reform were sent to the Holy Mother, and they would always turn over a new leaf after receiving her blessings. For the Guru or spiritual teacher, initiation means accepting the sins or errors of the disciple. As a result of having so many disciples, the Holy Mother had to face terrible physical ailments, but she could not resist helping others. The monastic disciples of Sri Ramakrishna treated the Holy Mother with great reverence. They looked upon her as the manifestation of the Divine Mother. Swami Vivekananda planned to go to the West to preach only after receiving the blessings of the Holy Mother. Despite not having a formal education, the Holy Mother always provided guidance and solutions to the most complex problems faced by the disciples. In today's times, when we think of world-famous inspirational figures in recent history, we often think of a revolutionary scientist or a billionaire entrepreneur, or maybe someone who has delivered lectures before thousands of people, or possibly one of the great freedom fighters. The Holy Mother did none of these things, and yet she is a source of strength and inspiration to millions of people around the world. She was a simple woman who, for the most of her life, faced many of the same challenges that all of us face, including poverty, illness, family problems, and the loss of loved ones. However, the mother lived the somewhat ordinary and simple life with grace and righteousness. After studying the life of the mother, I believe that Holy Mother accomplished great deeds by having three important qualities which we can all learn from. Firstly, Holy Mother performed all her tasks, even the most mundane activities, as an offering to God. Secondly, she was able to see God in all of creation, and thereby loved and served all as God. Lastly, she regularly practiced prayer, japa, and meditation, which helped to control the mind and direct it towards God. The mother's life provides us with the remedies for the challenges of this world. And even if all these remedies fail, we can simply take refuge at her feet, as she used to say. Whenever you are in distress, just say to yourself, I have a mother. Hari Om Tat Sat.